Dedication and preparation led to a new sensation, new creation. That's what you're facing. Now watch my elevation.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is our prediction for the upcoming fight between Devin Haney and George Kambosos. We're giving our predictions, and we're starting off with Ned the TBE. Who you got?
Devin Haney. You know why? Because all the odds are against him. He's in another country. He doesn't have his pops. He doesn't have his one of his trainers. He's training with Zab Judah's father. His camp's not all intact. And George Kambosos, he's a threat. He's a vicious threat. What we saw against Teofimo was crazy. I didn't expect that. After he fought, was it Lee Shelby?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, Lee Shelby.
After he fought Lee Shelby, I thought he was just a whisper in the wind. But he's not a whisper. He's a loud cry. He's not even a loud cry. He's a loud.
Yo, am I bugging? Like, am I hearing something wrong?
Yo, I was just thinking, he said he's picking Devin and then list all the reasons not to pick Devin.
What?
Yeah, he's a big underdog. He's like that pit bull. That pit bull with in the corner. You got a pit bull corner. They say you do never corner a pit bull, and you got the pit bull corner. And we got to see what this pit bull is made of. And I don't think Devin Haney is gonna get put down in this fight. And that's why I'm going with Devin. They're both skilled. Devin has shown me in his last couple of fights
something, bro. He cooking something.
He gives in the peer pressure where he wants to entertain the crowd. But Devin, you don't got to entertain the crowd. You just got to win and just win the fights.
Yo, G, you look disgusted. G, go ahead. Who you got, G?
I actually agree with Ned, but I was just shocked what he just said. But I got Devin Haney, but I'm gonna say this: Devin Haney by 11th round knockout, because I don't think it can even go to decision. If it goes to decision, Kambosos got this. They're gonna rob my man Haney. So Haney, you have to knock homeboy out. So I'm gonna say 11th round TKO. That's what's gonna happen. That's a strong prediction from G, but I believe it.
All right, I'm gonna turn it over to Trill Dollar Bill.
8 rounds to 4, Devin Haney.
All right, that's it.
Yes.
All right, Complex.
In Australia?
We got those American judges.
Are they doing American judges?
I believe so. That's what I heard.
Oh, there should be at least one. But I just wanted to tell a quick story. I actually met George Kambosos in Miami. He was supposed to fight Teofimo Lopez, but then Teofimo backed out with COVID. If it was real COVID or not, I don't know. But anyways, I happened to be staying at the same hotel that the fighters were supposed to stay at, and I met George at the pool. I had a great conversation with him and his dad. They're really cool. They talked to me for a long time about boxing and everything. And, they were like, yo, George is going to win. George is going to win. And I didn't believe them, and George won. And I got to say props to George for beating Teofimo, becoming the unified champion. With all that said, I still pick Haney. Haney's going to beat him. I appreciate George. I appreciate him and his dad talking to me, all that stuff. I don't want to see him ungrateful, but, I still pick Haney because from what I've seen, I think George had an excellent performance against Teofimo. I think Teofimo didn't have his best performance. So I'm not saying it's like not a real win. It's a win because they both stepped in the ring and, Kambosos beat him. However, I think when they're at their best, I think Teofimo would have beat Kambosos. And I think if they're at their best, I think Haney beats Kambosos. I think Haney doesn't even have to go for the knockout. I think he can outbox him so much so that they'll have to give him the decision. It may be close. They'll probably try to give George a lot of rounds, but I think Devin, if he fights the fight he's supposed to fight, which he could fight, I think that's why Devin was like, whatever you want, I'll give it to you. He conceded everything. I've never seen a fighter so to this extent. He's going to his hometown. He's going without his trainer, without his 2 trainers, everything. He's like, I'll even give you a rematch in the same country, everything. Because Devin's so confident he's going to outbox Kambosos. And I believe him. I see it. I think Devin's going to outbox him over 12 rounds, and I think he's going to do it again in the rematch. I don't even know if I don't know if he'll do it so much so that it won't be that close, but I think he's going to outbox him cleanly over 12 rounds. I see that happening. So my pick is Devin Haney by unanimous decision, 12 rounds. I could see the 8-4, or I think if it's close, they might say like 7-5. They might give Georgia a bunch of rounds and say 7-5, something like that. But I think Devin outboxes him. Devin, don't care about the crowd, nothing. Go in there and do your job, and you will win. You will walk out undisputed champion. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, so I want to start off by saying this. I want to give Kambosos his flowers. I think that he's an overachiever. I think what he did against Teofimo Lopez was sheer determination, will, and preparation. I think Teofimo Lopez underestimated him. He thought he was going to get Kambosos out of there in the first round. He banked on that. Kambosos stood his ground and was able to turn the tide and, just let it be known that he wasn't going to go and that he was there to stay. But what I did notice in that fight was that once Teofimo Lopez gave up on trying to knock out Kambosos, he was able to win rounds. And he even dropped Kambosos. And that is where skills come in play. Because Teofimo Lopez was the more skilled fighter. He just went in with reckless aggression in the first round and it backfired. Because it did look like he was having success against Kambosos until Kambosos was able to put him on the ground. But the point is, Kambosos had the dog in him. I don't question Kambosos' dog. I don't question his grit. I don't question his determination. He showed it all in the Teofimo Lopez fight. But to me in that fight, it also showed that Teofimo Lopez had better skills than him. And once Teofimo Lopez stopped trying to knock him out and just used his skills, he started to win rounds. What we're talking about Devin Haney here. Devin's not going to come out trying to knock him out in the first round. Devin's going to utilize his skills the whole fight. In fact, that's what Devin's whole career has been built on. Skills pay the bills. So for that reason, I think Devin's going to outpoint him. I've been saying that. But I also don't want to seem dismissive of George Kambosos. I think he's a hell of a fighter. I think he's a dog. I think that he's overachieved. I think his win against Teofimo Lopez is something that even the great Vasily can't say he has, and that's props to him. He brought this big fight to Australia. That's props to him. He got another rematch out there in Australia. That's props to him. George Kambosos has done a hell of a job. He's done enough to be considered a legend out there in Australia as far as I'm concerned. But as far as skills go, I think Devin outpoints him. Devin needs to remember, a silent crowd is a good crowd. Boos or cheers for him. And he just needs to do what he does. He needs to make Kambosos look bad. He needs to beat Kambosos the way that Floyd beat Canelo. And even then, one judge is going to score it for Kambosos because that's the way it is in the sport of boxing. But what he needs to do is dominate this fight, hit and not get hit. I think he's going to do that, and I think he's going to win. So salute to Devin. I just think he's the more talented fighter, but also salute to Kambosos. He proved me wrong before. He may do it again, but I'm going to need to see it again because I think Devin's going to win.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing.